Welcome to the Escape the System channel. I'm Joe Barnes and I'm back with another video. In today's one, I'm reacting to the December fight between Andrew Tate and Chase DeMoore and how I think that this fight made Tate lose all credibility completely. Now, I have made videos on him before because I found him an interesting subject. I even quite endorsed or enjoyed quite a lot of the content he was putting out. I made a video saying why you should listen to Andrew Tate, and I also wrote a blog post saying why you shouldn't. So I was kind of in the middle, not really sure about him. Liked some of the message that he was providing, but then didn't like something about him, the way in which he was delivering the message. Well, after that fight, after watching his Misfits fight, all of that has changed. My opinion has swayed completely into the camp of you shouldn't listen to this guy. So the fight itself was pathetic. It was almost a comedy. You've got this guy, Chase DeMoore, who I think's the Misfits heavyweight champion. And I think he was on Love Island. And yeah, he's a big, athletic, strong guy. Actually, athletic in the sense that, I don't know how athletic he is. He looks athletic. He's got all the muscles, great physique, clearly strong, clearly big, must be about 6'4" or so. Andrew Tate claims to be 6'3". I don't think he is, but Chase DeMoore was a good couple of inches. Anyway, he was bigger, he was younger than Andrew Tate. But this guy couldn't throw a punch to save his life. He punched from here, like this. It was absolutely pathetic. And this was the man that beat the formidable kickboxing champion, Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate couldn't even beat this guy. It was so pathetic to watch. So for the first round, Tate did throw a few decent combinations, and you could see out of the two fighters, he was the one who'd had more training, more professional experience, because unlike Chase DeMoore, Andrew Tate can throw a punch. The problem is he can't throw very many of them because it's not long before his gas tank completely goes. By the second round, he was exhausted. He was just at the mercy of this pillow-fisted guy who couldn't throw a punch at all. But there was nothing Tate could do about it. The odd combination that he threw in the first round, he could no longer put together. And it was just a slow, scrappy downfall until he lost a points decision. And I think he actually got hurt by one or two of these really awkward, pathetic punches that Chase DeMoore was throwing. And in the end, Chase won. He got the decision. And I was laughing. I just thought to myself, how can you set yourself up as some heroic warrior, some tremendous fighter, and yet lose to this guy? Now, of course, after the fight, in the post-fight interview, Tate says, "Oh, I'm not going to make any excuses," then goes and makes a string of excuses. He's nearly 40. He's been out of the fight game for 10 years. He's been imprisoned. And okay, that has a little bit of impact. But at 39 years old, you're not so old that you can't beat somebody who can't fight at all. Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul. Mike Tyson was 59 going on 60. That's about the kind of age where you can start to use age as the actual reason why your body just can't perform anymore. Not 39, not when you've had fight training, and not when you're fighting a total bum who can barely throw a punch. So the age excuse was pathetic. Him being in prison, I'm sure that takes its toll on you, but he had time to train for the fight. I think the thing that this really exposes about Tate is he's not the person he says he is. His kickboxing championship record, when you actually look into it, is pretty mediocre. I think because in kickboxing there are so many different organizations, it's actually easy, well, not easy, but it's easier compared to other sports to call yourself a world champion. He was world champion, a very mid to low level organization. He was far from an elite kickboxer. So he got exposed, basically. It made me realize that this guy is just all hype. He's selling this story of escaping the matrix, which is something I back. I've written a book called Escape the System, but he's doing it in a way which is complete hype, has no foundation, and he's just tricking impressionable minds into paying for his course, which probably won't. There's nothing from the research I've done into it. I haven't bought it myself, but the research I've done into it is just providing a few money-making methods, which there's nothing wrong with that. And some of them may be useful and help you escape a 9 to 5. They're not going to give you the kind of wealth that Tate suggests he has. On that matter, how wealthy is Andrew Tate? Because post-fight, he declared that he had 700 million US dollars, which is absolute bullshit. He claimed he made 20 million for that fight. Again, highly unlikely. Jake Paul probably makes 20 million a fight, plus that he's fighting on Netflix. He has a bigger platform, and he is a far better boxer than Andrew Tate and is fighting far more credible opponents than Chase DeMoore. So if Jake Paul's claiming he makes 20 million or 40 million a fight, that's probably right. Andrew Tate is not making 20 million for that fight. He may have got some back-end money, but his fee for the actual fight, probably 1-2 million, if that. That's all that Misfits operation could have afforded to pay him. And yet he's claiming he made 20 million. He's claiming his net worth is 700 million. How's he made this 700 million? He sells online courses, which yes, do make you rich, but they make you rich in the region of 40 to 60 million. And then if you've invested well, maybe you've got a net worth touching 100 million. But this guy's got a hell of a lot of expenses, court cases to fight, expensive lifestyle with endless Bugattis to buy. So I would be surprised if his net worth is much above 20 million, which is still fantastic. I mean, I've got nowhere near that net worth, so who am I to comment? But for someone who's made some of the money in a slightly nefarious way, remember he first burst onto the scene saying he'd made himself a millionaire by ripping people off with sites where you call in, you pretending you were speaking to some beautiful woman and you were having some kind of relationship, and that webcamming. I don't know why it took me so long to remember the name of that. Webcam girls, and he was behind the scenes coordinating it all, laughing about ripping guys off because he was the one telling the girls what to say. So, you're really impressed with people who make money in that way? I'm not. So the overall thing I've left with after watching this fight and listening to what he said afterwards is the guy's complete hype. Shouldn't be listened to. And even though I backed some of the stuff he said, I think he probably just does it to get attention. I don't think he serves anyone but himself, and to make himself richer. Maybe his direct family, I wouldn't know. You'd assume he was, he does obviously love his direct family, wants to support them. But this whole idea that he's on big quest to free people's minds and change a generation and overthrow the matrix, I think it's all bullshit, because I think this guy just can't stop talking an unbelievable amount of hype that he just can't back up. So the video itself here, just a little bit of fun reacting to that ridiculous fight, but also the wider message saying, don't believe these so-called gurus and public figures who claim so much, but actually, when they get exposed in the cold light of day, deliver so little. So thanks for watching. If you've got any thoughts on that fight and you saw it, share it in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.